And welcome to another Field of Glory 2 Digital League Season 8 battle. This is Biblical Division A. We have the Hebrews with the Phoenician allies versus the Egyptians with Assyrian allies. How fitting. The Egyptians are actually, I think, statistically one of the best armies in the Biblical League so far. Keeping in mind that Biblical still doesn't have a lot of armies that will be added in a later expansion. So let's see what Cunning Karen can deploy. 9 units of infantry skirmishers if he wants, huge numbers of massed archers if he wants. For medium foot, Syrian style medium foot, raw variety. Oh, and the regular variety, along with Saitic foot, are basically just irregular foot. And raw irregular foot. Horrible, but 20 points, dirt cheap. More importantly, he can field lots of armored hoplites, which I have no real counter for, along with armored true heavy foot. Ouch, yeah. His cavalry arm, also better than mine. So I think the only manner in which I outclass him would be the quality of my medium foot and potentially the numbers of my skirmishers. But yeah, I don't know how useful that is considering that he can get so many massed archers. I might dispense with my normal enormous horde of skirmishers screening my army and just get as much infantry and chariots as I possibly can. My 2 units of hoplites. I suppose you can only get 7, and I can get these Phoenician spearmen, but they're below average and thus, the technical term is squishy. They're very squishy. Digiborium, so we need some superior foot. I think it's fine to field Phoenician foot in the center because, we're not going to be doing too much maneuvering in the middle of the line anyway. Okay, we have 440 points left. What do we want to do with it? We could max out on cavalry and try to put some flank pressure on. That might be difficult in the face of all this light horse that you could bring to the field. I think we do it anyway. Nothing else that'll be a distraction. They're not expensive. Otherwise, I think we just get a reserve of still more Hebrew foot. Actually, that might be silly. We might need the chariots, if only to stop his chariots. Very awkward. 20 points. Why? Alright, we'll drop one of these and grab a couple of units of reserve foot. Drop 4 of our Phoenicians and replace them with Hebrew foot. So as usual, I'm feeling not confident before we've even started anything, but in this case, I think it's warranted. This Hebrew army has so many swordsmen, it needs terrain. Otherwise, it just gets squished by spearmen. Unfortunately, this terrain looks very squishable for us. I know, gross, but it feels gross. So basically, we'll try to hold firm in the center, move both wings out, and attempt to do some kind of wrapping maneuver just through sheer numbers. We'll have to accept a fair number of casualties from archery due to our almost complete lack of missile cover. But on the bright side, that means we have a lot of points to play around with. Alright, that's our deployment. Alright, see that deployment. Alright, let's see. Lots of archers. The chariots are somewhat bad news for me, but not terrible. I can kind of try to work my way around. Ish. It's a pretty dense deployment, so I think we should just sit back and, if necessary, fall back. Although I do want to kind of break this cavalry out into open country to be annoying and then get butchered. Maybe the smart thing to do would have been to anchor the foot here and put all the cavalry on this flank. And then, anyway, we can give ground if we need to. I guess for that purpose, I should turn these horsemen to fall back. Give ground here if we need to, and swing this foot around. And then we'll have a battle something like, I don't know, here? I mean, that could be completely wrong. Yeah, that's all for now. Okay, you'll experience a increase in the volume here. Kind of foolish, but I'm gonna shove these melee cavalry into the forest. They can gradually work their way over and then just get intercepted and accomplish nothing. We'll accomplish nothing together. Okay, so the goal is just a wraparound. I think I can begin withdrawing now. It's not a permanent withdrawal, I just don't want the two lines to slam together before everybody has arrived. Now, he might counter my doing this by simply pulling back to his hills. Given how many troops I have, I would be fine with that. I think I could still win attacking a strong position if I had to. Good. Next turn. He halts his advance in return for my falling back. That's fair enough, and we're going to keep our advance going now. For my army, the less time spent skirmishing, the better. He knows where I'm going, but I don't know, maybe he'll forget over the course of our long journey out of the forest. Okay, we'll continue our very slow advance. Possibly through this forest, although this is a height 100. I don't really feel like messing with that. We'll see what he does. Next turn. Oh, he's resumed forward movement. Kind of, although pulling away from this flank. The skirmishers will be a problem. I'll eventually be forced into forward movement by then. But not yet. Okay, we're still out of range. I think I will continue to withdraw out of range. There's no reason to make contact with one part of the line before the rest of the line is ready. You'll have to make the choice now to either keep pushing forward or to just stand and deploy defensively until the rest of my wing arrives. Because I need to minimize the amount of time I'm getting shot at, considering that I have 2 light units. My chariots also have bows, but it's kind of a waste to use them that way. Right. Next turn. Alright, well, oh, hello, of course. Of course. Well, we're gonna get picked apart. That's okay. The cavalry can absorb the damage and the infantry will push on. We'll continue to delay frontal engagement to give our right flank time. although we are running out of space, so we have to hurry up. Next turn we'll start wheeling these horsemen around, and then they'll kind of lurk out of sight here until the swing is more committed. And ultimately, as this heavy foot draws near, I'll probably want to plunge these Hebrew foot into the forest. And yes, we'll certainly lose these 2 units of horsemen. They're pretty helpless against light horse. We can't catch them, and our camels are unprotected. But that's okay. This line is going to just continually push forward. The danger is that he will zone of control lock my wing with these chariots, so I might need to peel these chariots off to break some of that up. Next turn. Oh, well, if they're just going to avoid our cavalry and get behind us, I'm just going to accept that and work with it. If he forms defense on this hill, we're just going to avoid it and push here. Alright, we can throw our own small number of lights forward. They'll get basically instantly shredded, but that's not a big deal. Okay. Now, at this point, our line is getting close enough that we might need to start advancing again. Especially when we start coming under pressure from the lights. Okay. Next turn. Yeah. Okay, he's going to turtle up. Probably not a bad call. As we will have to respond to that sort of thing. Not yet, I think, though. Surprisingly empty. Okay. I would like to kind of wrap around here before I make contact in front. But we might come under too much missile pressure. Our chariots are just going to swing over to try to fight his chariots, or at least charge them so our infantry can push. But I am ready to accept taking some light missile fire in the meantime. Okay, next turn. Uh-huh. Fade into the forest. Fall back. Fall back. Fall back. Here I think we'll stand. Or will we? No. No, we will not. Why would we do that? This hill is bad news. But we should be able to fight here with some success. Oh, just shove them a little bit. Nothing serious. So what is the plan here? I think we're going to try to make impact here. It's going to be tough because of all the hoplites. But we have some heavy foot of our own. We have some superior foot of our own, more importantly. If we can contain the chariots and just punch in here. The problem is this shell of heavy foot protecting the squishy, squishy, delicious archers underneath. So my whole no skirmishers plan might sort of fall apart in the face of overwhelming firepower. I think it might also be time to bring out these guys. It's a line of sight. I wonder, well, if this causes a distraction, that's fine with me, even if it draws attention early. Okay, I've committed myself by my army composition to an aggressive course of action. So, it is what it is. Next turn. To get the flank attack, you'll keep this unit locked in. If we're lucky, we'll hold firm at disrupted, in which case it won't really matter that much. That's too bad. We'll have to take cover in the forest, I think. Okay, now we need to decide how aggressive we're going to be. Yeah, so my units are one-on-one, mostly inferior to these 4 melee units, but I have more. So I think I just need to push up in a way that I'm not getting engaged piecemeal. Well, alright. I guess at least we're in contact, so we're not going to get shot at more, but that could have gone more smoothly. We'll have to take some point-blank archery. Is now the time we advance? I think yes. Oh, I wonder... I'm curious to see if the new patch affects whether this unit will turn or not. If it doesn't turn, it means he will have wasted his time with this old trick. But I don't know if it only applies to cavalry or what. Alright, these guys will soak some arrows, that's fine. If I can even get one unit back here, it could cause considerable chaos. Okay, the massed archery is going to be painful. The manner in which we're closing in is somewhat disjointed. That's unfortunate. But hopefully it'll allow us to avoid getting trashed by these chariots and just fight here and use our sheer numbers to overpower the hoplites, even though they're better than most of our units one-on-one. Next turn. We're closing into contact. We need to survive both the hail of arrows and the crust of high-quality armored heavy foot. And that sort of thing. It's fine. Yeah, so under the old patch that would have been an automatic cohesion drop, but it's not with the new patch, which I very much appreciate. Held firm, too bad. Okay, first things first. How they be disordered? Damned camels. Camels, go somewhere and do something. They would still be disordering my man. That's really irritating. I'm gonna ride wide around to just try to distract some units. That's hugely unfortunate. Means we're gonna have to lock these guys in and charge. Even though it's really ugly, so that we don't just get auto-dropped here off the bat. Really bad way to start, though. Held firm again. Need to threaten these archers. These chariots are just so damned unmaneuverable. That's messy. It's just very messy. How do we feel about that? He's slightly disordered, but now they're moderately disordered. Okay, so our camels pursued forward, camels, slightly disordered friendly cavalry, and moderately disordered enemy cavalry. So combined with the POA advantage of light spear heavy chariots, which gain an extra 50 impact, we're gonna slam into these guys. Just covering the flank here. Okay. I don't know how this is going to go. We've managed to engage along the whole line, but we're at a disadvantage in large sectors of it. Cunningham is positioned nicely on this hill. I don't know what we're going to do about that. The bigger problem, though, as in most of these biblical matches, is the hoplites. I just don't have a very good answer to them. Next turn, Let's see how messy things get. Oh, that's pretty messy. Do we hold? No. No, we don't. It's a lot of holding firm there. It's disappointing. That's better. Might be able to do something with that. Very good. Very, very good. Ooh, we can set up a flank attack on either of these units. That's better. These damned archers. Huh. Okay, we're gonna need help over here. Luckily, we have help to offer. Phoenician and Hebrew foot will shift over. These will just pile onto this unit when we flank them. Next turn. This situation is not as wonderful. Too bad. Have to charge so that they stop shooting at us. That is not good. Still have to charge. Okay. Zone of control lock the hoplites, and then zone of control lock the chariots so that they cannot simply break the zone of control and then flank this unit, which is probably doomed anyway. Goodbye, camels. Unless we could make some threatening motions there. And keep our options open here. Right. I think this whole sector is going to collapse. The question is, do I want to pour more troops into fighting up these hills, or do I have to turn them around to assist here? I think unfortunately, because we're so much closer, we're going to need to just shift to fight over here. It's an okay start though. I think we should be able to get some good damage in here. And if we're lucky, we'll do more damage here than we suffer here. Too early to make any predictions though. Okay, now it's going to get bloody. Painful. This damned hill is going to cost me. That's what I get for rolling with no skirmishers, means I have to charge into situations like that. Upside being that I might have the numbers to endure the casualties. That's not helpful though. Sure could have used some kind of rallying there, but it was not to be. Held firm. They're gonna hop into the rough. So I think we'll just kind of see how far we can pursue these hoplites and see if we can crash into the rear. We just have to pile on. We have to break this unit and start working our way behind. Hold firm. Good. Right. Reinforcements. Ouch. Very bad. Very bad. Might actually, well, yeah, I might actually shuffle these camels over here in case this blows wide open. We need more of a distraction to slow him down. Join the fun. Good. Good. Ugh. This is all so bad. So bad. Lost a second of recording there, my apologies. Take a risk. Good. Shuffle into place and just hold out. General on there. We're gonna lose some units here. It's gonna get kind of ugly. Especially if that sort of thing continues to happen. Balances it out a little bit. Guess it's charge or be shot at, but I don't like it. Oh no, that's just bad luck. Just bad luck here. Could cost us. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna break through here fast enough to make up for this terrible thing and this also terrible thing. We'll see. Next turn. See just how bad our left wing gets. But that certainly doesn't help things. That I like, though. Eventually, these obnoxious light horse are gonna, do that. Maybe I should be more worried about my right wing. It is concerning. Ah, we're down 10 all of a sudden. I knew I should have worried about that hill, but I just wasn't sure what else I could do but charge. I don't know that there's a way I could have held back here and still advanced here. That would have been practical. This is looking grim. May have messed up by not getting skirmishers. Hold firm, hold firm. Now, the question is, will we be able to stick when we charge, or will we bounce off and get shot to bits? Looking bad, but not completely impossible yet. Good. See what happens when you do that. Very nice. Fragged. Perfect. Perfect! Even better. Now we're evened back out. Well, for now. Things are still gonna get bad with this, but... Break them, please. Held firm. Too bad. These men will need to stay on the rough until they rally up. Good, they held. for one turn at least. Nothing for it, we have to charge there. Wonderful. Oh, they're screwed. Yeah, I think I'm still going to lose this because this whole sector, other than that, is looking quite terrible. This is grotesque, other than what's happening here, but mostly it's quite just awful. We're going to lose all of this, and we're going to lose all of this. It's only a matter of whether we can lose slowly enough to kind of move out of the center, but I don't know that we can. Onward. Next turn. They'll get the auto flank attack off on this unit next. That is extremely dreadful. Oh no! Looks like Cunning Kieran's gonna get his revenge on me for our classical round. Fragged now. Okay. Well, for starters, hit them. General up here, I want to slaughter this unit. Get a disrupt, please. They did, but they've lost so many men, they still don't feel confident in staying in close combat. I suppose they feel more confident about sitting back and getting shot at. Could spell doom for our chariots if they get hit in the flank next turn. This is bad. These units are vulnerable to lights in their current morale state. Alright, fine. I guess we have to shoot at them. This is all extremely terrible. Well, we'll at least push him over 30 before we collapse. Alright, disaster continues. Maybe I can't call it a disaster if I've put in 20% damage, but we are about to cave in. Yeah, in the end, trying to go with the infantry swarm was the wrong choice. Suppose what I should have done is maxed out my skirmishers and stood my ground. Refused contact on the hills, but, you know, it seems like it could have worked. Goodbye. If they'd stuck, they could have done good work. Yeah, once again, a lack of light horse is proving very distressing. We're at minus 24, so we're blessed to have one more turn to get in some damage before it's over. Alright, so let's do what we can. Too bad. Could have punched through here. Let's protect our fragged infantry unit. Okay, but it should be over next turn, I would think. But, you know, as far as ways to lose, I don't really mind this. We tried a strategy, we attacked, we failed. It happens, but it was nothing that I feel like was criminally stupid. Next, and perhaps our final turn? That should do it. Unless we get some kind of rally. But if they break 2, it won't be enough to get a rally. Oh, 23, okay. A bit of time to do some more damage then. We'll certainly be guaranteed our single point for inflicting casualties. The problem with rallies in this environment is that there's so much enemy-like cavalry around, they get charged and broken pretty quickly. Held firm. Shove them off so that we can push. Break them. Keep running. General up. Push these archers. Flee. I wonder what would happen if we gave them a shove. Nothing. Alright, well, at least we're costing him. Next turn, perhaps our final turn. Now we're over 25. Now we're over 60. Would have been nice if that had happened earlier. That still feels good to see it. Oh, we're still in it. I mean, we're still going to lose, but we get to do damage for one more turn. See if we might not get this unit to rally. This unit will be able to take cover in the rough ground here or here as needed. I don't know why I'm trying to figure this out. We're screwed, but shove them off and slay them. We just have to turn around and face them. We'll have to hope to hold for one turn and push into this built-up area for cover. I'm going to try to push in this direction, cut out these archers. Alright, maybe we can break one more unit before the end. And our final turn. Actually ended up being closer than I thought. Well, that's too bad. Alright, well, barring any rallies, it should finally be it. There we go. Defeat. Right, so what went wrong? I think I gambled on spending so many points on infantry and so few on skirmishers, and that's what cost me the battle, simply put. Had I had more skirmishers, I could have stood off and peppered the defenders of this hill. I could have fought from this forest more effectively, and I could have seen off this light javelin horse, or at least kind of neutralized it. As it was, Cunning Karen did a very good job keeping his masked archers screened by a crust of hoplites, and hoplites are the unit type that I have the greatest difficulty dealing with this Hebrew army of swordsmen. So he utilized the terrain, he used his light cavalry, and I paid for my lack of skirmishers. It's a strategy that has worked in some other matches, but not quite in this one. So good game, and well played to Cunning Cairn. Till next time.